Once upon a time, deep in the forest, there lived a tribe of mischievous goblins. They were small and wiry, with sharp teeth and long, pointed ears. The goblins spent their days playing tricks on the other forest dwellers, and at night they would gather around the campfire to tell stories of their misdeeds. One particularly dark and stormy night, the goblins were huddled around their campfire, listening to their leader tell a particularly terrifying tale. As he spoke, the wind howled and the trees swayed, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Suddenly, the leader stopped mid-sentence and cocked his head to the side. "Do you hear that?" he asked, his eyes widening with fear. The other goblins fell silent, straining their ears to hear what their leader had heard. And then they heard it too, a low, menacing growl coming from the darkness beyond the firelight. "It's the witch," one of the goblins cried, his voice trembling with fear. The witch was an ancient, evil being who lived in a crumbling old castle on the edge of the forest. She was said to have magical powers and a fondness for gobbling up naughty goblins. The goblins quickly scattered, running for their lives as the witch's growls grew louder and closer. They darted between the trees, their hearts pounding in their chests. But no matter how fast they ran, the witch was always one step behind them. She cackled with glee as she chased the terrified goblins, her long, bony fingers reaching out to grab them. In the end, only one goblin managed to escape the witch's clutches. He stumbled out of the forest, his clothes torn and his face pale with fear. From that day on, the goblins lived in fear of the witch and did their best to avoid crossing her path. They knew that if they weren't careful, they too would end up as the witch's next meal.